Look, Slim Thug home burglarized in a Houston apartment penthouse. Look, bro, old-fashioned kick those, smash and grab. This after competing with Sauce Walker, Albert, showing who had the most all over the internet. Look, bro, School got tricked out of his bag. They went over there and took his shit. This is why I call him old stupid ass Slim. Slim just don't know no better. Slim can't get right. Look, y'all drop it in the comments, bro. That whole Give Fresh challenge, who has the most? Oh, this is $100,000 chain. Oh, this pinky ring right here, 30. You know what I mean? Look, bro, dumbest shit in the world. Y'all drop it in the comment. Dumbest trend ever that ended as quick as it was supposed to, you know what I mean? But unfortunately, they went in that man's house and they took his shit. You know what I mean? Learn your lesson, bro. Learn your lesson and stop the capping. It's 2025, niggas about the action. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. Y'all drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Look, Ice Cube will be immortalized in cement. Immortalized in cement at the world famous TCL Chinese Theater in Hollywood. If you're there or around April 15th, they will be putting the historic handprints and footprints on him. You know what I mean? Yeah, Ice Cube is going to be stamped in. On top of that, he got Friday approved, so a new Friday is coming out. You would think this was Ice Cube. They would have been approved that shit, but no. The man had to go to the drawing board and rewrite until it was right, and now it's correct and it's coming out. Look, he's joining the likes of Marilyn Monroe to Brad Pitt. Look, everybody, if you're anybody in Hollywood, you go there to watch your movies. Here's shit, handprints, footprints. He will be immortalized. TCL Chinese Theater. Shout out to Ice Cube. Scores from the playground. Y'all drop it in the comments. Look, Fetty Wap pleas for a presidential pardon. He was sentenced 6 years, a couple years ago, 2-3 years ago, for pushing dope. Young nigga move that dope. Well, he took that shit serious. Really was out here looking for a trap queen because he was moving. Not allegedly. The man was convicted for 6 years. Well, look here. His sister is speaking on his behalf, and they want clemency. Yeah, she say he has taken responsibility for his actions and served over half of his time. He deserves to be out with family. Look, I'm going to tell you like this. Once again, that's the smallest little Kleenex being rolled up for old Fetty Wap. Because look here, bro. Yeah, it knew better than to push that dope. Especially once they celebritize your motherfucking ass and you knew all eyes was on you. You know what I mean? Should have left the weed alone. Look, you gotta do better. When you know better, you do better. But when you don't know better, it ends like that. Nigga, leave that man alone. Let him do his time. Don't let him, but you know what? You gotta understand that man is, you know, while I'm talking shit, you gotta understand that man is missing an eye, you know what I mean? And his legs are funny. We don't know if he's getting victimized in there. So maybe this is that. You know what I mean? You know what? Free old Fetty Wap. Why? He has disabilities, fam. Yeah, he didn't serve though. Hey, let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Yeah, he was pushing that dope. You know, I don't know why he was pushing that dope. Like I said, maybe he didn't know no better. Couldn't even see straight. You know what I mean? Man, that ain't being funny. You know what I mean? You don't know what goes on in that man's head. Something's missing, obviously. Look, y'all drop it in the comments, man. Maybe they should let him out. Y'all drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the play. R. Kelly appeal rejected by a federal appeals court. Look, they rejected nearly every claim in his appeal. Yeah, the prosecutors presented sufficient evidence that R. Kelly used his celebrity status to manipulate and sexually exploit young underage girls for years. They say for 20 years. Look, bro, unfortunately for Ckmbs, this is how it ends. On top of that, bro, a lot of people still a fan of this man when his daughter already came out and said she woke up to him touching her. Bro, that was enough. That man is a motherfucking monster. Yeah, point blank fucking period. He deserves to rot. You know what? I'm gonna switch that up. He deserves to rot in prison, fam. Unfortunately, That's how it ends. That's how the story ends, bro. He didn't beat the case. He tried to do the race, but he didn't beat the case. Scars from the playground. Man, I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth. So help me God. But you know, niggas know that. You know that already, don't you? Don't you? Drop it in the comments. Stephen A. Smith open to a presidential nomination. Look, he say he wasn't taking it serious at first, but over the past couple weeks, he's been forced to really look at it, fam, and the country is in a fucking mess. Look, he's been approached by people at Capitol Hill. He's been approached by elected officials. They saying he got a pretty legitimate chance of being the president, bro, but he has no political aspirations. Look, Stephen A. Smith is a good talker. A lot of people take him for what's going on with him and LeBron James. I will say this, bro. I don't know what's going on in this country, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but it's in shambles. Yeah, whoever can get in that office and save it, I think the American people should put more faith in somebody new. Let's just be honest, let's just be real. Donald Trump, I like him, you know what I mean? I like him, but that man in there doing anything and everything he wants to do. And even the Republicans that voted for him ain't liking that. Let's just be honest, let's just be real, especially with all these new tariffs. You know what I mean? Y'all drop it in the comments. Shout out Stephen A. Smith, bro. Stranger things have happened in this world. I will tell you that. Stranger things have happened in this world. It's 2025. By 2027, like you said, if it come to him, he ain't gonna deny it. Look, shout out Stephen A. Smith. Like I said, you don't know what may happen. At one point, people said Donald Trump would never be the president of the United States. Look, y'all drop it in the comments. Pro Squats from the playground. Salute Stephen A. Smith, fam. Tony Buzbee filed a motion to dismiss Jay-Z, Sean Carter, Jigga lawsuit against him. Look, bro, he filed a motion to dismiss the lawsuit against Jay-Z, said that Jay-Z bullied the victim into dropping that lawsuit. Reason being, he had her address and identity, and he was sending people out there. Look, bro, turns out they had an agreement behind the scenes that she would drop it voluntarily if he just leave her alone. He didn't. What he did was gloated and took that victory lap way too soon, way too soon. He did way too much. Y'all drop it in the comments. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. Look, they coming to get him. Yeah, they coming to get him. Tony Buzbee say not only did he file his lawsuit in the wrong court, but he failed to justify a reason for even filing it. Drop it in the comments, bro. It ain't looking good for Jigga. I told you. Yeah, nigga. I told you this one wasn't over, bro. He got a long road ahead of him. On top of that, they adding charge after charge to Diddy, and Diddy says nearly impossible for him to defend him, for them to defend him in trial. Y'all drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help me God. J. Cole praised for how he treat his female fans. Look, bro, he treat them just like he treat the men. You get a fist bump and an all handshake, period. Nobody getting a hug, none of that. A lot of people like his woman don't play that shit. And that might be the case, bro. That might be the case. His woman don't play that shit. He's just not a hugging type of motherfucker, bro. Yeah, dab, handshake. Look, I look at that as respect. You gotta salute that. Why? He's not out here just for the freaky shit. Yeah, he's not a freaky man with a freaky plan. This man is all about the music, and whatever he do behind the scenes, bro, it's really him. Nigga, you might catch J. Cole in traffic on a bike, on a 10 speed. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest. I'm just being real, bro. That's like the most humble shit I've ever seen. So the handshake and the fist pump, it just adds to the aura, bro. Yeah, it just adds to the aura of who it is to be Jermaine. Y'all drop it in the comments. Nigga, that nigga gonna win forever. Why? Because people with genuine hearts make it farther in life. It might take you a little longer because you're running a marathon. Yeah, it's gonna take you longer because you're running a marathon. But understand me, yeah, we'll make it. to where you want to go if you run correctly. You know what I mean? Promise to just always treat people with respect. You treat them with respect, you get that in return. Every time. Drop it in the comments. That's how you're able to survive anywhere you go in the world. You don't have to just stay in Fifth Ward, Houston, Texas, or South Central LA, or Brooklyn, New York. You can go anywhere and still be that man. It's in you, not on you. Y'all drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Soulja Boy victim demands $73 million in damages. Look, the attorneys provided the figure in closing argument. They said they want $73.6 million to be exact. Well, look, Soulja Boy attorneys say the claim is preposterous, you know what I mean, grossly exaggerated and unfounded, like her allegations towards Soulja. Soulja say she didn't say stop, no, don't. She said no, don't stop. Reason being, look, well, he say that justifies everything that she say. Look, bro, let's talk turkey. Yeah, let's talk turkey, nigga. How much is a victim's pain worth? That's where we at right now. Look, if you see what Walmart did to Tracy Morgan, that man got millions. I think this woman should get every bit of what she's asking for. I'm obliged to believe her. The way he did Neil Riley, let you be honest, let you be real. Y'all drop it in the comments. Man, we don't love these niggas, bro. Like my boy Spider Lope from LA say, facts over feelings. You know what I mean? Look, direct quote. Direct quote. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the play. Sada baby arrested on felony drug charges. This is stemming from a traffic stop earlier this year. Look, they say they stopped him, arrested him, not having a driver's license. Tested a little product that he had, narcotic. Turns out at the lab results, it was 25 grams of, I think, methamphetamines. If I'm not mistaken, y'all drop it in the comments. Could have been some Molly or anything crushed up, but it is a felony drug charge, and this is not looking good, bro. They arrested this man. Yeah, they arrested him, and he's gonna have to fight this one. Yeah, he's gonna have to fight this one. Look, bro, if you got a problem, if you got a drug problem, you know what I mean, don't call me, man. Yeah, don't call me. Call 211 or something like that and try to see if you can get some services in your area, nigga, because now you're riding around with 25 grams of allegedly methamphetamines, man. What's wrong with you niggas? Yeah, what's wrong with you nigga, bro? All y'all doing rapping, bro. You got to get fucked up to do your thing. You know what I mean? Here's it. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Lil Roy seeks to serve Diddy co-defendants in newspaper ads. And we talking about Justin Combs and with Cuba Gooding Jr. Look, Cuban been on a run since the groping allegations came out. I'm obliged to believe he touched that boy on that boat. Y'all drop it in the comments. Yeah, he touched that boy on that boat. And Justin Combs know way more than he know. Justin Combs allegedly is laying low right now. Cuba Gooding Jr. nowhere to be found. What this boy say, Lil Roy, he asked the court to allow the service by publication. You know, look, y'all drop it in the comments. If they can't find you, you can't be served. You know what I mean? But they must maintain their anonymity, their conspicuous city for the remaining of the trial. For the remainder of the trial, they must stay out the way, and they could stay out this thing. But this ain't dying down, bro. Cuba Gooding Jr., did you rope that man? That's what the world want to know. Yeah, that's what the world want to know, nigga. You got to come out and say something. Right now, Cuba Gooding Jr. is at the point where he trying to revamp his acting career. But, nigga, that ain't going to go nowhere. Them little checker movies and all that type of shit, you're going to need way more than that, and you're going to have to come out and address the people. Now, that Justin Combs fella, I don't know what he's guilty of, but he ain't nothing like that King Combs. That King Combs is still jigging and partying it up. Look, y'all drop it in the comments, nigga. What can make you laugh, can make you cry. That's where we at right now with it. Scores from the playground. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real, nigga. Drop it in the comments. GloRilla spent $500K, $500,000 on plastic surgeries. $75K for the teeth with the upgrades. 50 to 75K for the face fillers, 100K for them titties, and 200K for experimental butt lift. Look, bruh, she went to Dr. Kevorkian and got the Build-A-Bitch package. You look, bro, whatever it takes, man. Yeah, whatever it takes. Everybody know she wasn't all there before she got into the game. Yeah, ugly duckling syndrome. So when you get the money, bro, and you want to add some enhancements and upgrades, let's just hope it's worth it. But that upkeep gonna hit for about $3 million. Yeah, she gonna pay about $3-4 million just to keep that look. Y'all drop it in the comments, man. You do what you want with your human form, man. Scars from the playground. I'm just being honest. I'm just being. You please not guilty to RICO charges, federal RICO charges. Eugene Henley has pled not guilty to a slew of allegations, including murder, extortion, fraud, sex trafficking, robbery, illegal gambling. Look, the list goes on. The list goes on, but that man say, look, he ain't been nothing but a help in that community. Look, Big U was all good till he wasn't good no more. Now they trying to pin everything on him. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Me personally, I don't think he was that bad. Yeah, I don't think he was that bad. Yeah, the man ain't never did nothing to no honest folk. And when I say honest folk, I don't just mean street people. I don't just mean he was targeting street people. I mean honesty. Certain people wasn't legit anyway. They wasn't moving legitimate. You'd have no reason to fuck with Big U if you had your shit in order. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Y'all drop it in the comments. But Big U is pleading not guilty. If convicted, this will be a life sentence. Let's be honest, bro. He already over 50. He might only got 10, 20 good years. 75, 80 is about to cut off for a black man, especially if they ain't been taking care of yourself. Drop it in the comments, bro. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help. Jay-Z Rock Nation School scrutinized over debt-free promise. Jay-Z Rock Nation School of Music, Sports, and Entertainment at Long Island University, Brooklyn, has come under scrutiny for promising them students they would graduate debt-free. It was called the Hope Scholarship. Yeah, the Hope Scholarship. Turns out after these people graduated, they got a bill that said they was $26,000 in debt. Outstanding balance of $26,000 despite Jigga promising them that it was gonna be free. Look, y'all drop it in the comments. Man, you can't go on promise. Where's the money, man? Fuck all the bullshit. Where's the money? When you promise some shit like that, that money ain't supposed to be already paid. That ain't supposed to be if this and that happens, if I don't run into legal trouble. You made something, your word. Your word is all you got. You don't break your word for nobody, bro. Your word and your boss. You know what I mean? You lied about that. What else you lied about? Y'all drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Ross announces new live stream with NBA YoungBoy. Look, bro, he wasn't even gonna let the cat out the bag. He showed his homeboy, but you know niggas got motor mouths. The nigga looked at the phone and said, "Oh my God, I love YB." Adin Ross said, "Look who I got coming in, bro. Big surprise." "Oh, I love YB." Look, bro, this is big. I can only hope that YB get on that motherfucker and act like he got some sense. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. The last thing, especially when I see this picture right here, YB, I get to look at him a little bit more. You know what I mean? Yeah, the nigga growner than I thought, man. Nigga look like he about 42 years old. I expect him to act like he got some sense this go around. I like to give him the benefit of the doubt, but it's 2025 and niggas know how it go in the playground, my nigga. Anybody gonna get that belt to ass if you come on that bitch acting stupid. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. I ain't with the bullshit no more, but shout out YB. Welcome. You shows throwing shots at Kendrick Lamar. He say that man is a hypocrite. He say don't let no white man talk about black man that's law. Well, he's doing a movie, Whitney Springs, with the creators of South Park, bro. They got a lot of, they white, They got a lot of jokes about Lizzo being fat and all type of shit, bro. Look, bro. Yeah, Andrew Schulz got a point. You can't pick and choose, bro. Yeah, you can't pick and choose when you dictate that this is wrong, then go back on the other side and work with them because they putting you in they making a movie with you. Yeah, it's about the weakest thing ever. Let's just be honest, let's just be real. That's my problem when everybody that go with the whole black plight movement. You motherfuckers contradict yourself. Y'all live contradictory lives and don't even know it, bro. Drop it in the comments, man. He got a point. Andrew Schulz, he said Kendrick Lamar could get took. If they was in jail, he'd take them. You know what I mean? I thought the joke was funny. A lot of people didn't even get it, but it's comedy, fool. You can't say every other comedian could say what they want, but white folks can't. It's comedy, fam. Real shit. Drop it in the comments. And Kendrick Lamar ain't above getting his feelings hurt, man. Nigga say he'll take your motherfucking ass. You know what I mean? Nigga, what's your rebuttal? You got to have a rebuttal. Don't just try to get your fans to, no white man can talk about a black man. Bro, you teamed up with South Park creators, bro. What's wrong with you? Squads from the playground, man. Drop it in the comments.
If they throw it, I'ma catch it to play the game like Tetris. I'm one of a kind rap, people tell me I'm a clip. I've been working 24 hours, summertime to winter. I ain't really at the chill, it gotta be about business.